musician with us, joining us in our. We're pursuing a band, and we will have a full band by the end of the year. So this is Matt Winker, and this is the first step. So actually, I'm going to put that back up a little bit. But that means you're going to have to listen to me play a lot of guitar this morning. So let's stand, and we're going to sing together. And if you're out there online, you can join us in singing as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning, unity. Welcome to harmony. Come through those open doors. This church is yours. This is where we learn and grow. Find the things we really know. Look inside to find a way to start a brand new day. Good morning, unity. Welcome to harmony. Come through those open doors. This church is yours. Good morning, everyone. You're shining like the sun. Glad I made it here in time. This church is mine. This church is mine. This church is mine. Woo! We haven't done this one in a little while, but it's a song I wrote during the pandemic. And here we go. Round and around we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm unique and you're unique. We'll get to choose from God's boutique. As co-creators, our lives we tweak. This song's gonna sneak up on you. Some say life it isn't fair. Some live life without a care. But you should take care of whatever you do, 'cause life's gonna sneak up on you. We're all living together. We're spinning around on this globe. Through all kinds of weather. Round and round we go. We all got a responsibility to be the best that we can be. By treating each other with dignity. This song's gonna sneak up on me. Some say life it isn't fair. But some live life without a care. But you should take care of whatever you do, 'cause life's gonna sneak up on you. We're all living together. We're spinning around on this globe. Through all kinds of weather. Round and around we go. Come on, sing now. Ours is always the reason why. Make the most of this sweet life. Got stuff to do before we fly. This song's gonna sneak up on I. Some say life it isn't fair. Some live life without a care. But you should take care of whatever you do, 'cause life's gonna sneak up on you. We're all living together. We're spinning around on this globe. Through all kinds of weather. Round and around we go. Let's sing that one again. We're all living together. We're spinning around on this globe. Through all kinds of weather. Round and around we go. Round and around we go. And on to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. I really do believe there's joy somewhere. Up above my head, I hear singing everywhere. I hear singing, come on now. Up above my head, I hear singing everywhere. Up above my head, I hear singing everywhere. I really do believe in this place. There is healing in the air. You can clap, come on now. All in this place. There is healing in the air. All in this place. There is healing in the air. I really do believe there's joy somewhere. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. Up above my head, I hear music in the air. I really do believe there's joy somewhere. Let's repeat that last line. I really do believe there's joy somewhere.
Good morning, Unity in the Seven Hills. Thank you, Matt, and we're so glad to have the drums, and thank you, Daniel. When I was in Tulsa, and again, it's Oral Roberts country, guy came up to me and said, you know, whether you go to a very liberal, progressive church or a very conservative church, it all seems to be the same in the sense that the music is sort of the warm-up, and then it's the preacher. The preacher's the main act. He said, but when you get to heaven, it's going to be exactly the opposite. The ministers are the warm-up act, and the band is the main event, and it's going to be Merle Haggard. So we're looking for that band. Let's start out by blessing the Christ candle, blessing the unity candle with that great affirmation. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. God, the good, omnipotent. We're in Lent, and this year, Unity Worldwide Ministries, Unity World Headquarters, put out a wonderful pamphlet called 40 Days of Letting Go. What I really love about what the Fillmores did to Lent, because in a lot of places, let's face it, Lent is essentially giving up ice cream, giving up candy, giving up chocolate, giving up fun, and you have no fun until it's Easter. And the Fillmores really saw it very differently. They felt that this Lenten period could be the of letting go, but letting go of error thoughts. Thoughts of scarcity, thoughts of lack, thoughts of, oh, I could never do that, or whatever, or I can't accomplish this. But how do you get rid of this stuff? So this wonderful booklet, and we have a few more copies in the back, it not only goes through a lot of the common error thoughts that a lot of us have, but also giving ways of getting rid of those error thoughts. And this Sunday, on March 12th, the entry is written by Reverend Paul Hasselback, who is one of the leading metaphysicians in the Unity movement, one of the leading in the Unity movement, and he writes, and one of the ways of getting rid of these error thoughts is through detachment. And he writes, detachment involves no longer giving power or importance to any unhealthy attachment while refocusing our desires, our love, on our inherent divinity, which is divine substance, composed of divine ideas and laws of mind. Divine ideas and laws of mind are the fundamental ingredients for manifestation and demonstration. And then Paul quotes from Jesus, from the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus said, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will also be." Where your treasure is, there your heart will also be. I know the word idolatry. I mean, when we say idolatry, you think about the golden calf and the Israelites and all that. But in our modern world, I do think idolatry is alive and well. Things, false gods that we think are going to save our patuka, as it were. The problem is that these false gods fail us time and time again. And as we can start to detach and refocus on that one presence and one power, then we have something which can really move us forward, even when we're going through a health challenge, even when we're going through a family situation, even when we're going through a financial difficulty. And so let's just go into a prayer for a minute. Dear Spirit, thank you for the ability of getting rid of error thoughts. One of our powers is that power of elimination. Getting rid of thoughts and patterns that are no longer serving us. We thank you for unity in the Seven Hills, this great spiritual city on a hill. May it continue to have a positive spiritual message to Lynchburg and to the world beyond. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And we're also, every week, we look at one of Unity's basic principles. And today we are on the fifth principle. And the fifth principle really is the rubber meets the road principle. And we actually have a group which meets on Tuesdays. It's on up here. You can get it online. Speak to me if you're interested. We call it the rubber meets the road. How to actually apply these principles when the challenges come. Because it's very easy to be Mr. or Mrs. Spiritual in a church, or something like that. It's harder to be Mr. and Mrs. Spiritual when things don't go our way. When the car dies in the middle of nowhere, or you get that bill which you weren't expecting or something like that. And the fifth principle is that it's important to really apply, and this is a difficult step, to apply these principles when we face these spiritual challenges. So let's say this principle, I love it the way it's written here. It is not enough to understand spiritual teachings. We must live the truth we know. And when we do, we find that we can face calamity with serenity, that there is a new power and stride in our steps, even when things may not be directly going our way. One of the things which is very much going our way is our Youth and Family Ministries program. We're so fortunate to have Crystal doing it. And bring your kids, bring your grandkids, bring your neighbor kids, and let's bless our youth as they are going downstairs.
So let's say the blessing of the youth together. You are a perfect child of God, and God and I love you just the way you are.
And wherever you are.
1, 2, 3, 4. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's sing together, stand up. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, everybody. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Let's affirm our mission statement together. Unity in the Seven Hills is a vibrant, inclusive community that inspires individual spiritual growth through education, prayer, heart connection, and sacred service. And our vision statement, centered in spirit, we see a world transformed by divine love, where innovative solutions are celebrated and all needs are met. We are in Women's History Month, and I've asked my daughter Robin, who's down from University of Massachusetts, to give us a reading from Marianne Williamson.
Women and all the cool, unique ways that womanhood and femininity are expressed. And as for our quote of today, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, Who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin. And I've asked Lisa to read the daily word.
Good morning. Our daily word for today is illuminate. I welcome the light. Taking a moment to appreciate the beauty of a sunset, I realize that in another part of the world, the first rays of a rising sun are bringing light to a morning sky. Whether I can see it or not, the sun never stops shining. Somewhere, a new day is dawning. Much more brilliantly than the sun, the light of God, too, is always shining. Sometimes my thoughts may be so focused on a challenging life situation that I do not sense this divine light. Then, in a flash of insight, I experience again the illuminating presence that, even in my darkest moments, is as near as my next thought. I affirm, let there be light. I speak out, I breathe out frustration and worry. Breathing in, I am filled with the light of truth that illuminates my mind and shines from within my heart. When God said, let there be light, and there was light. That's from Genesis 1:3. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. And now for some very special music.
So, just listening to the daily word there, which I hadn't read, so amazing how things link up. Some of the songs I don't know why I choose. This one I did know why I chose. Thank you to Ari for reminding me of it, but here we go. You'll see with meditation how that daily word just links in with everything. I sing like the birds, I grow like the trees, I choose to live in love, I am joy, I am ease. I sing like the birds, I grow like the trees, I choose to live in love, I am joy, I am ease. Now if you choose to join me, you can feel free to do so. I sing like the birds, I grow like the trees, I choose to live in love, I am joy, I am ease. I sing like the birds, I grow like the trees, I choose to live in love, I am joy, I am ease. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. 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 I choose no more fear, I choose no more shame, I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace, I choose no more fear, I choose no more shame, I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace. I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame. I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace. Oh, I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame. Sing it with me now. I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace. Oh, I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame. I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace. Oh, I choose no more fear. I choose no more shame. I choose to live in love. I am light, I am grace. Om Shri Lakshmi Mahadevi Namaha. 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 Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. 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 Oh, Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Oh, Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. I walk softly on this earth in the light of God's name. I walk softly on this earth in the light of God's name. Oh, Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Oh, Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Oh, 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 oh. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Namaha. I walk softly on this earth in the light of God's name.
Thank you, Daniel and Matt. I have 3 daughters. 2 of them, I mean, you've met and all that. Therese, 8, going on 28. Robin, down now in University of Massachusetts. But I have an older daughter, which some of you probably you remember as a little girl. I mean, the first time we came around to Unity in the Seven Hills and Nancy Purcell days, my daughter Catherine was maybe 10 years old, but now she's a woman in a 20-something. Matter of fact, I got a call. She lives in Southern California, and got a call from her saying that her boyfriend Zach, they've become engaged and very, very happy about that. I like Zach a lot. One of my family members asked me, well, what do you think of Zach? And I said, I'm very pro Zach. And so I didn't mean to make a pun, so now poor Zach is, known as Prozac, and oh God. But when Catherine was a little, we were up at Unity in Fairfax, and she was in the religious school, and she comes out of the religious school, and she says to me, Daddy, do you really think God looks like an elephant? And I knew exactly what was going on. If we could get there, we are. They were looking at Hinduism, and they were looking at the god Ganesha, who looks like an elephant. And Ari, thank you, Ari, for when you come up and pick up an affirmation and all that, you'll see the god Ganesha, a statue of the god Ganesha is there. Ganesha is a wonderful, wonderful deity, elephant-headed, Hindu god of beginnings, worshipped before and after an enterprise is undertaken. He's patron. He's sort of the patron god for intellectuals, bankers, scribes, authors. He's oftentimes called Lord of the People. And again, today, in our study, we've been looking at this wonderful book by Reverend Paul John Roach, published by Unity Books recently, called Unity in World Religions. We're not just doing it here on Sundays. We also have a Spirit Circle, which is meeting online on Mondays. If you're interested, please, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. We'll make sure you get the Zoom link and all that. And to remember why we're doing this, I said I had a congregant in Roanoke who came up to me, very, I think spiritually developed, studied a lot about unity, but he said to me, oh, we're going through a really troubling time period, political turmoil, the pandemic, economics, and inflation, and this and that, and China coming on the scene. And he said all these changes are happening, and it seems like we're in a boat, and it's very stormy. It's a very stormy sea, and there are rocks. And I go back to the back of the boat, and there's no rudder. The rudder's gone. And then I look up, the North Star, which I usually steered from, is gone. And I thought, well, I can understand those thoughts, and that a lot of change is happening. But the rudder exists, and the North Star exists, and a lot of that has to do with spiritual traditions down through the ages, spiritual truths. Reverend John Paul Roach keeps on talking about a perennial philosophy, taking that term from Aldous Huxley, that great British writer, that we seem to see in a lot of these great spiritual religions, these great spiritual paths, we see certain truths coming up again and again, a perennial philosophy, a golden thread. So my hope is by the time we finish this series, we are going, I'm not denying we're going through very challenging times. We're going through very challenging times where even certain basic ideas about democracy and things like that, basic values to our society are being seriously questioned. We're going through that, but there is a rudder which we can steer. There is a North Star which we can guide from. And these are these perennial spiritual truths that have come down, up, time and time again, down through the ages. Now, Hinduism, Houston Smith, and I've talked also about Houston Smith, who was that great teacher of comparative religion at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Houston Smith said if you had to reduce Hinduism to a bumper sticker, as it were, the bumper sticker would be, you can have what you really, really want. You can have what you really, really want. Sounds almost like, remember the Spice Girls? I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. No, tell me what you want, what you really, really. Sounds like the Spice Girls. But Houston is saying, Hinduism is saying, you can have what you really, really want. But Hinduism raises a kicker on that. Be careful what you really, really want, because a lot of times what you think you really, really want, when you get it, it's not really, really, really what you want. In Hinduism, I mean, going up to, I can see going up to the guru and saying, you've told me to be honest with you. What I really, really want is I want a lot of sexual experiences. The guru would say, "Now, no problemo. Here's the Kama Sutra. Here and off you go." Or, "I'm really interested in great cuisine. No problem. We have other books about spiritual great cuisines." So, but Hinduism, the movie wasn't made by Hindus, but it is. I mean, I so often think of the Hindu spiritual tradition when I think of that wonderful movie, and now we're getting to the Academy Awards, Groundhog's Day. Remember Bill Murray? Bill Murray was the sleazy weatherman in Pittsburgh going out to cover Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, whether he sees his shadow, and if he does, there's more winter or whatever. And so Bill Murray finds that he's caught in Groundhog's Day. He keeps waking up in the same dumpy hotel, and it's Groundhog's Day all over again. So he feels, well, heck, if it's Groundhog's Day all over again, I don't have to worry about my diet. I can eat whatever I want. I can kiss any woman I want to kiss. I mean, I'll just wake up and it's Groundhog's Day again. Then he gets the idea, I can jump off buildings, pretend I'm Superman. And so he keeps on doing that, but then he starts finding he's not really satisfied. And by the end of the movie, he's mentoring kids from, the other side of the track. He's interested in spiritual practices. And as he starts doing that, he starts experiencing what the Hindus would call moksha, liberation, enlightenment. And guess what happens? He's no longer repeating Groundhog's Day again. That sense of almost, Hindu sense of, as we'll talk about, reincarnation, of coming back again and again on the wheel. And once he feels that liberation, that spiritual enlightenment, he's no longer a sleazy weatherman. He's really grown from that, and he has experienced that enlightenment. The term even Hindu, I mean, it's a Western term. I mean, it was what Western, comes the British Raj, the British are ruling India, and what is this religion? What is this spiritual path? And they said, they don't really have a name. We'll call it Hindu. And as it were, the name struck. It's a toss-up. Which is older, Judaism or Hinduism? Many people would give it to Hinduism. It really is a multiplicity of philosophies, ideas, practices, beliefs. It's very eclectic. It's said that there are millions of gods and goddesses in Hinduism, but they are each a facet of the one God, of one sense of spirituality. God, the saying is, God is formless, but takes many forms. So if you went back before the British Raj and you said, well, what are you guys? What are you doing? They would have said, oh, we're part of something called Satana Dharma. Satana Dharma. English translation, we're just following eternal truth, or the eternal way. Some set the beginning at roughly 2500 BC, very, very, very early, in the valley of the Indus River. Indo-Aryan tribes. They seem to have many similarities between Greeks, Germans, and Celtic spiritual practices. The oldest set of scriptures in Hinduism are the Vedas, which come from roughly 1500 BC. The meaning of Vedas, knowledge. And then the second set of scriptures called the Upanishads, which come from roughly 800 to 200 BC, which literally translates into, the Sanskrit translates into sitting down near, sitting down near. And a very interesting, I see a very interesting analogy to Judaism, again, very, very ancient. And also very interesting with both Judaism and Hinduism. Who's the founder? There's no one, I mean, even, well, you could say Moses, yeah, but there was Abraham before, and Noah. There's no one founder to Judaism. There's no one founder to Hinduism. And another similarity, in Judaism, the central sacred scriptures are is the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. But then rabbis started commenting on the Torah and all that, and telling stories and having to make legal decisions and stuff. And so out came the Talmud, which is, it's almost like you're reading the transcript of rabbis getting, it was the rabbi conference, and you're reading this, yeah, but I remember my teacher used to say, blah, 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 oh, but Rabbi Hillel used to say, and so that's what the Talmud is. Very similar in Hinduism. You have the Vedas, but then the sitting down near, what you're doing is sitting down near the gurus, the scholars, their commentaries on the Vedas, their stories, I remember my grandmother used to do this and all that. And so that's the Upanishads. Other very important scriptures in Hinduism, one in particular, the Bhagavad Gita, which was written roughly 200 BC. To Mahatma Gandhi, this was one of his central texts, and Gandhi did such incredible metaphysical interpretation of the Bhagavad Gita. It's a dialogue between Prince Arjuna and Krishna. Krishna, one of the avatars of the divine presence in Hinduism, and it's before a battle. And they're riding into battle, and Krishna is on the chariot with Prince Arjuna, and they're talking, and essentially out comes the Bhagavad Gita. Another is the Ramayana, which is the story of Ram, also an important avatar of the divine. Well, does Hinduism show the perennial philosophy? Does it show this golden thread? Oh my God, is the Pope Catholic? I mean, if you go back to Aldous Huxley's wonderful book, The Perennial Philosophy, I mean, he's quoting Hindu scriptures right, left, and I think the 2 things that he's quoting the most are Jesus and Hindu scriptures. There are many, many gods, but probably if you had to, again, Mark Twain said nobody was ever saved by a sermon which went over 20 minutes, so we're not going to list all the Hindu gods. But 3, let me mention in particular, Brahma, and there he is, the creator God, the creation, multi-head, multi-armed, and then Vishnu, the sustainer. There's Vishnu, the sustainer. And from Vishnu has had many avatars or appearances of the form of Vishnu, Krishna and Ram also descending from Vishnu. And a third, which in this pantheon, which I'd like to mention, is Shiva. There is, are we on to Shiva? Yeah. The dancer of Shiva, and I am sorry, I meant to bring my Shiva. He is the very interesting, the god of destruction. My hat's off to one of the things which I think is so incredible about Hinduism, is they realize that the universe is not just Easter bunnies and there's a lot of destruction in this universe. Sickness, death, wars, earthquakes. And they talked about almost, there was there was an economist by the name of Joseph Schumpeter who talked about creative destruction. You want automobiles to replace horse and carriage. A lot of industries, the buggy whip industry and a lot of other industries, are going to have to go. Up comes, the automobile and the internal combustion. If you want an electric vehicle, a lot of things of the gas-powered vehicles are going to go. And Shiva is this god representing that aspect of destruction. I think Reverend Paul puts it so well in his book where he says, that although upon initial view, Hinduism seems to be a smorgasbord of deities, in truth, God is one, formless, yet taking many, many different forms. And he also says, and this is something else where I think many people have deeply admired Hinduism, is that it is a highly eclectic spiritual path. It's a highly eclectic spiritual path. And Reverend Paul says, there are many paths up the spiritual mountain, many gods to choose, but in the end, there is only one summit and one presence. At its most sublime, this ultimate presence is simply called that. And powerful mantras used in Hinduism reference that word, such as, I am that, you are that. Where we would talk about the Christ within, Hinduism simply says, I am that, you are that. And it's interesting, in Aldous Huxley's wonderful book, The Perennial Philosophy, one of the leading first chapters is simply called that, I am that. Hinduism stresses very strongly about the beyond that is within, the beyond that is within all of us, that there is something so much more important than just the material world, and that the goal, as I was mentioning before, the goal in Hinduism is something called moksha, freedom or enlightenment, release from attachment. I think very much Hindu masters, when we were talking about detachment, would understand very strongly about that. And also that the concept of reincarnation, that there is something beyond death, and being, as it were, recycled back into the flow of life. Very interesting. If you go back to early New Thought thinkers, you go back to Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, but even if you go to New Thought thinkers before them, all the way back to Emerson or Henry David Thoreau, this idea of reincarnation, of something beyond death, and it's not just going to one place called heaven, really cycle. I mean, it was never, there's no sixth unity principle that you have to believe in reincarnation or anything else like that. But unity thinkers from the early days were very interested in these concepts and what they could mean. And a lot of times said, well, it's beyond our pay grade. We don't have it all mapped out. But, even though we don't have it all mapped out, we do believe that there's something there. Is something to this, that it is a finger pointing in a direction which we should be looking. How do you get to this moksha? Well, again, I love it. And one of the things which I so love about unity is we say we honor all spiritual paths that lead to enlightenment. There's not one. It's not a one-size-fits-all universe. It's much more, do you remember the old Burger King, hold the pickles, hold the lettuce, special orders don't upset us? That there are many, many different paths to enlightenment. And just because something works for me, it doesn't mean that that's a universal truth. It means that it worked for me, and maybe it might work for some other people, but it's not the only way. And Hinduism so stresses that. There are so many forms of what they call yoga. Yoga, union, unity, union and unity. Can you see why a lot of times many people in unity have felt such an affinity, such a kinship with a lot of the truths that Hindus talk about? Now, we in the West, we think of yoga, you think of, all right, down dog, oh God, at Unity of Roanoke Valley, there's a wonderful woman, Rhonda Banner, who teaches yoga, and I would go into her classes. She was so kind. She would say, Reverend Rick is doing such a creative interpretation of this of this position. But there are so many other forms of yoga besides, and traditional forms of yoga. There is karma yoga, action and service, finding that union and unity with service. There is bhakti yoga, loving devotion, a lot of times done in the form of chant or song. If you ever get a chance to go to Yogaville to hear Krishna Das, Krishna Das, a good Jewish boy who grew up in the next town over. I grew up in Port Washington, Long Island. He grew up in Roslyn, Long Island. But he was a hippie bus driver and not really feeling, there was something missing in his life. He met Ram Dass, and Ram Dass told him about Neem Karoli Baba, and everybody said no. Ram Dass used to say, I'm not telling you where Neem Karoli Baba is. I don't want to have a ton of American hippies that's descending on him. And but Krishna Das didn't listen to Ram Dass and found out where he was and became a disciple of Neem Karoli Baba. Krishna Das is an incredible chanter, a kirtanwala. He said, if he could have told his high school guidance counselor, my goal is to become a kirtanwala, he said, but that was number 2 pencil, and that wasn't something he could cross off back in the day. Incredible chant. What I find so compelling about Krishna Das, and it's just repeating simple, and in Sanskrit, but just repeating simple chants. And by the way, there's another guy called the Kirtan Rabbi. He thought, if this works in Hinduism, I bet you it works in Judaism. He takes Jewish chants and call back and very simple Hebrew chants back in response. What I have found with both Krishna Das and also the Kirtan Rabbi is that it's silence, for me anyway, it's silence the monkey mind. What's on, oh my God, my Kroger shopping list, next to, and you're sitting there minding your own, oh my God, my taxes are due by the 15th. And doing this stuff, it shuts up the monkey mind, which I just have found to be absolutely, for me anyway, just absolutely incredible, and and such beauty, and a wonderful story. Neem Karoli Baba, a great Hindu teacher, and Krishna Das is, he finally feels that he has found it, and the spiritual peace, and he's in India studying with Neem Karoli, and Neem Karoli says, you have to go back to the United States. And Krishna Das felt that he was being thrown out, he finally found it, and now he's being thrown out and everything else. He gets back to the United States, and a little while later, Neem Karoli dies, makes his transition. And Krishna Das starts to feel so grief and he then started to discover that he had inside himself an internal Neem Karoli Baba, that he had this internally, and that he felt a mission and a calling to spread this in the Western world, and that sense of finding that so much finding that so much within. Hinduism also very much, stresses, it could have come from the Upanishads, came from our Bible, as it were. As a man thinketh, as a person thinketh, so he is. The Upanishad says, you are what your deep driving desire is. As you desire, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. I said we'd look at what I call the Houston Smith questions. What spices, what camera angles does Hinduism, as it were, use? I think that it's spice is to be eclectic, to be non-dogmatic. It's openness, realizing that there are many, many different paths to coming into spiritual enlightenment. We also said we'd be looking at what we call the Ken Wilber questions. Ken Wilber, that great spiritual teacher, and Ken Wilber said, no religion gets an A+ in everything. I mean, they may be good at this, but usually they're weak down here. And if you remember, I the first time we started this series, I said, from my point of view, I think unity gets an A+ in this, and this, but we get weaker grades in certain other areas, and I talked about that. So I would say, Hinduism gets A+ in being so eclectic, so non-dogmatic traditionally. Although there are branches of fundamental Hinduism developing in India, my God, the Hindu-Muslim conflict and Hindu nationalism, but traditionally it has been a very non-dogmatic religion. I would say also a weakness, another strength would be, I think, Shiva, realizing that there is this aspect of creative destruction, that it isn't all butterflies, hearts, and lilies of the valley, as it were, that there is this other side of life, and dealing with it. A weakness, I would have to say, I would point to the caste system. Gandhi really fought the caste system. It's outlawed in many, many places, but it still is prevalent, even, if more, much more underground. There is so much richness to Hinduism, and I think we in Unity resonate with so much in there. If I had to, I'll give myself more than one bumper. Houston Smith gave himself one bumper sticker. I'll give myself 3. I think really 3 key points to take away from all of this. First is a very strong belief in reincarnation. And, if we're not going to buy reincarnation hook, line, and sinker, then restate it that life does not end in death. That life does not end in death. And we in Unity so often call death a transition. We, should feel pretty comfortable in that one. The second is that we can have, the good news is we can have what we want. We can have what we want. But to be careful and to check what we want, because so often, so many of us get what we want. We want the corner office. We want the degree. We want the title. We want the house. We want the car. And we get it. But we find that it really does not, to quote the Apostle Paul, it doesn't bring us the peace that passes all understanding. And that we can remember, like Groundhog's Day, when we start to realize what we truly, truly, honestly want, we can have it. I remember very strongly hearing a tape. In those days it was a tape of somebody making a presentation Alcoholics Anonymous meeting and saying, what I searched for in the bottle and never found, I found in these darn AA meetings and this spiritual path. So we can have what we want, but to search and realize what we really want. And lastly, this concept of moksha. Moksha. Spiritual liberation. Freedom. It is possible not just for the great gurus, but it is possible very much for you and me and for all. And so I go back to that day at Unity of Fairfax and reimagine my daughter Catherine back as a little girl asking me, do we really believe that God looks like an elephant? The answer I would now give is, Catherine, a loving God can appear in a million different forms and in a million different ways. And for some, yes, God can very much appear as a wonderful, happy, joyous elephant. Thank you, and God bless.
As we go into meditation today, you'll see the synchronicity. And this is just a repeated chant. We're going to start with I am light, I am light. And then Hari Om is the conclusion. I am light. It's down there. I am light, I am light. 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 Hari
Let's close our eyes if we feel comfortable doing so. I ask you to picture yourself at a lake or by a fountain or by a small stream. This is the source leading to what will become a mighty river. The source of that divine spark inside of you. I ask you to bring to mind something that's no longer serving you. Something that's holding you back from what you could realistically be. Just sensing that maybe your ego's not powerful enough to detach from this, but there is so much more inside of you than your ego. Knowing that you are one with the one, that you can be free from this attachment, that moksha is possible. And with this hope, joy, and beauty, we go into the silence. Dear Spirit, flowing through me, flowing through you, flowing through all of us. Thank you for this new birth. This springtime which is almost here. Thank you for hope, love, peace, joy, and wisdom. And for this and so much more, we say thank you, and amen, and amen.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Let's stand and proclaim that for our truth. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. Oh, I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
And now we come to that time of tithes, gifts, and offerings. We are so abundantly blessed. We're in the middle of our annual abundance campaign. And if you haven't seen, this is a pledge card. Our annual, our fiscal budget ends on August 31st, so committing through August 31st. And I find this amazing that we're already up to 64% of goal. And I mean, this is the congregation which paid off the mortgage, and I just find that really incredibly wonderful. What we're also asking, it's not just money, but it's also time, treasure, and talent. That we're, on the form, there's also talking about, I'm really good at this, I'm really good at that. I'm willing to make a commitment to volunteer and do certain things. So it's not, again, it's really, honestly, truly not just all about money. So let's say that wonderful affirmation: unity in the seven hills is abundantly blessed.
Creative people are drawn to us. Divine ideas flow through us. Financial resources bless us. And we accomplish mighty works together.
This community does support so many wonderful Unity institutions like Silent Unity, Unity Worldwide Ministries, and organizations here in Lynchburg. We're this month supporting Humankind. We're going to be giving a check this week to Jubilee, and your generosity is really amazing. For folks online, there are many ways to give. You can give through Zelle, a check, cash, PayPal, click and give below, and also snail mail. Snail mail is a little slower than than it was before, but it's still working. And so what we're going to ask, please come on forward, and your contributions and great vibrations and prayers are more than welcome. Say hello to Ganesha, and then please take an affirmation, and then we'll circle up. So here comes my favorite song.
Something wonderful. And before we start, though, isn't it something wonderful to have Matt join us on the drums? Woo! The start of something big. And he's going to start with something big, right? Something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, oh, I can feel it in my soul. I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no, it won't let go. All this love inside, Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now. I can feel it in my body, I can feel it in my soul. Oh, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out, yes we can. Something wonderful, something wonderful is happening to me right here, right now, yes it is. I can feel it in my body, sing it with me now. I can feel it in my soul, I can feel it in my heart, and it won't let go, no it won't let go. All this love inside, we can let it shine out, yes we can. Something wonderful. So now let's bless the gifts and offerings together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. United in mind, body, and spirit, I dedicate these gifts as they grow to bless our community, our neighborhood, and our world. Come on to the camera. There you go. Thank you. Thank you to everybody here and out online for giving so generously. And thank you, Matt, for your talents. Thank you. To see a list of our upcoming events and ongoing classes, go to unityinthesevenhills.org. Or for those here live, copies of the calendar are in the back. Here's what's happening soon. So next Saturday, March the 18th, Armand and Angelina will be debuting musical comedy show for us at 6:30. So next Saturday, 6:30, be here. Suggested Lover, and it's on Eventbrite, so if you and get tickets there, Eventbrite online. So then next Sunday, March 19th, we welcome Armand and Angelina as our guest speakers and musicians right here. So be here next week, it's going to be great. Also, and fun, they're very fun, they're fun folks. Also, stay after service that Sunday for a class on native flute instruments. So I know a lot of people have bought the flutes in the past. They'll have some with them, I'm sure, so you can purchase them and join them for a class on native flutes and flute playing. Suggested love offering for that class is also $20. The Unity Book Club will be starting soon. This will be a monthly meeting group that will begin this month with Eric Butterworth's book, In the Flow of Life. So join us Tuesday, March the 21st. That's Tuesday right after next weekend at 7 p.m. So we're also going to be starting the choir back up. So what I'm going to do is just, if you've been in the choir before, you want to be in the choir, I'm going to be contacting you. If you haven't received anything from me, contact me as well. And if you would like to be in the choir, contact me either through my cell phone, or if you want it, you can ask me at the end of the service, or through the church and through the office, and they'll put you in contact with me. So I know we've got some singers here. Last time one of the last services we did with the choir, we had 21 people up on stage. So so hopefully we'll get that back to that level again. So, or more. These are greater things. It's just about spring, and that means it's time to spring clean. On April the 1st, April Fool's Day, everyone is invited to come help clean up Unity. Stay tuned for details. It actually really is on April the 1st. Yes. March 26th, after the service, that's 2 weeks' time, we will be holding a volunteer fair. Now, if you're looking for ways to help, this is your chance. Be prepared to say yes. Your community is prepared to say yes back. So we're going to have some folks telling you what your opportunities for growth and service will be on that day during the service. And then afterwards, you'll have a chance to sign up. Now, I'll be down there for the music team and the choir, but choir people, we want to sing on, I just want to say we want to sing for Easter, so we're going to have to get started before the 26th, so contact me before then. Your prayer chaplain today is Ari at the back there. Thank you to the tech team for running the sound, everybody, thank you. And Ari is here to hold space with you. We're about to sing the peace song, and I'm not going to play it on the guitar. It's too many chords. And then gather for coffee. But before we do, if you're watching at home, like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell icon for notifications. And do the one with the things around it so that bells ring in. And just before we close today, we're going to have a little word from our sponsors. No, our youth team.
We have some art to show y'all today. We did, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but Rangoli. It's a Hindu art that's done to encourage the gods of wealth to come and bless us throughout the year. And can you hear me now?
Just turn everything on.
Turn it all on. And we had lots of helpers with beautiful art they want to show you today. Hold them up, guys.
So let's finish with a peace song. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. So let's have coffee and then make snow angels.